Hello everyone, my name is Guilherme and welcome to another video. And in this video I will show you something very special because for the first time ever I've made my own game using my own game engine, and I'm here with Cave Engine 0.98, which is super new here in this channel. It's not released yet, but it will be released soon, and you can already see that I do have a brand new project manager, and everything here is super different and super better. And before we go to this, I will tell you about this game because recently we had a game jam called Ludum Dare, and it's a 72 hours game jam that happens twice a year with thousands of people participating across the world, where you have, of course, this period of time to make a game based on a theme. And this time the theme was Delay the Inevitable, and I decided to give it a try again and use my own game engine in order to make this game, and I have to say that the experience was amazing. I tried that in the previous version of this game jam and I was not able to finish the project. I tried with Feed the Queen, which is the name of the game that I did for the last jam, but this time I was able to finish. The game is available on itch.io for you to download and play, and I will show you in this video everything you need to know about the project and how I made it using Cave Engine. So I'm here with Cave. Open it, and before I go to the project, which is this one right here, I just wanted to mention again that I did renew like the entire project manager, so it's super better. You can maximize it. There's a splash screen right now, and I will be featuring your games here in this splash screen. Right now there's only my games, but I will be featuring your games in the future. So you can search for stuff, you can create new projects like here, and then you can create a name, of course. There's an about with a bunch of informations, and the splash screen information, of course. So oh, and by the way, you can right click here to review in the Explorer and do a bunch of cool stuff. And if the version of the game engine you are using is different from the version of the project, it showcases this warning message right here and the red outline in the icon, which is amazing because it prevents you from making mistakes. So let's jump to the project. I'll click here to open, and Cave Engine will load the project for us, and you will be able to see everything in action. Here we go. I do have Cave. Open it. It's super different from how it was before. Let me actually remove here this side of the screen, my icon here. And you can see Cave in action. I can select stuff, I can move stuff around, I can duplicate stuff, and of course I can click here to play the game. And you can see as simple that I can play this project. There's particle system, so if I go ahead here and press R to explode, oh, I don't remember how to explode. F. It's F to explode. You can see that everything is exploded behind me, and I do have this cool menu here with options to go to the main menu to play again. Can play again. Of course, you can pause the game, so I'm jumping in the air and I pause the game. It does not pause the animations, and as you can see here, but the entire game is paused. If I hit continue, it will continue the game just fine. I'm going to the next level, and this game, talking about this project, is a game that you have an energy. So this is this is the looper, the character, and I do have here this energy bar. Oh, actually, let me stop the game real quick and make it full screen for you to see. If you press Ctrl Up Arrow, you can make this full width. So I do have here this character, and he does have a life bar. And the thing is, as I move, this life reduces the energy that the looper have. The looper is the name of the robot again. Will reduce until it reaches 0. And when it reaches 0, it will explode. And you can see that it already destroyed some parts of the map. So what's the point of this project, well, of this game actually? It's very simple. You can walk over these white orbs to prevent you from losing energy, and yes, you can leave a trace behind. So you can see that I do have half of my life bar right now, and if I go back, it will restore my energy, and that way I can increase, I can delay the amount of time I will have to, not actually the time, I will delay the amount of the distance that I want that this robot can walk before it explodes. And with that in mind, I can reach places that are far away, and eventually win the level. So very simple. I'm not sure if I was able to explain to you 100%, but that's it. That's how it works, and I'm very happy with the results. You can swap between the robots by pressing Q or A using your keyboard. And of course, if you go ahead here, you will restore the energy just fine. And you can see that the game does have a lot of particles, a lot of cool stuff. Oh, now I cannot proceed here because there's not enough space for me to jump. Anyways, let me go to the main menu just to see that there's transitions and so on. Oh, it's super loud here. Here we go. And I can see my credits and quit game, of course. And new game, it will reach me to this new game window and a new game scene. So let me stop the game here and talk about Cave Engine, which is the main highlight of this video. Of course, I want you to play the game. I want you to have a great experience, and if you play, please and make it gameplay, please send to me, because I would be happy to watch your gameplay. That's going to be very interesting. But now in this video, I'd like to talk about Cave Engine, because it's the engine that powered this game, and it's super new because I never, as I said, I never made a game using Cave before. I'm very excited because of that, and people already made games using Cave, which is super cool. But I, the creator of the engine, myself did not make it until now, because that changed, of course. So let's jump to the engine and see how this game was made. And before we jump to the editor part of the project, let me talk a little bit on how this game is structured. You can see that I do have the asset browser here in the bottom, and I do have some subfolders, of course, and I do have a folder for the levels. And this is all the levels of the game. I do have the main menu here. If I can double click it, and you can see that I do have this menu. I can disable, of course, the UI overlay here to edit the level, and of course I can edit the UI itself. But I do have all the levels here. So this is the level 1, as you guys saw in the video. This is the level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. Very simple. There's a preview here that makes it super easy to figure out. I do have a test level, which is the level that I was using to test things out. Let me see if it's playable still. Yeah, it is. I can explode stuff. I press F, here we go, and see everything. This was like the level that was using to test the game before I started doing level design, of course. So everything is structured in different scenes here in the game. So this is literally a scene. I can go ahead and create a new scene here, and it will have the same effect. Oh, I do have the tutorials here, which is literally just a new UI stuff. Very simple, okay? And this is not everything. That's not like the main thing of the game, because if you see here in the scene graph, you can see a lot of green stuff here. For example, if I select the player here is an entity, but it's green. And if you can see here, it does have a bunch of childs, and but it's green. And why does green means? It means in the engine that this is a template entity, and a template entity, it's literally, if you are coming from Unity or Unreal, it's literally like as prefabs or blueprints or groups in Blender. It's just something that you can create to store the same logic across different levels, because as you can imagine, I do have the same player on all those different levels, as well as, oh, I do have a duplicate here. I accidentally duplicated the player here. Anyways, and I don't think I need to have this copy. And just like this object and all the other objects. And how is this template structured in the engine? If I go here to the gameplay, and by the way, this is just a folder. I can create a new folder and name it as I want. I can make it subscribe just fine. Okay, let me delete this folder because I don't want it. But I do have a gameplay folders with all my templates, and you can see that the icon do have like this green bar here to indicate that it is a template. And if I double click it, I will be able to edit my template. So this is the robot, and this is the one that you use in game. And if I shift A and add a mesh here, let me add a mesh right on top of this robot. Let me make this mesh actually reach the body and dynamic. So this is this engine is component based, and by the way, it's way better now, the editing here. I do have the add components. Anyways, lot of new improvements here everywhere in this engine. Okay, so this is my robot, and now have a mesh on top that will fall on it. And of course I can visualize the physics here. The robot do have a capsule and now this object as well. And if I go to a level, let me go to this level 1, you can see that my robot already have a box on top of it. Level 2, all the robots do have a top of it as well. Just like level 3, I do have a robot. Oh, there's a copy of this robot in all levels. Well, this is just a debug release of this engine, so that's probably why I had this copy. But anyways, all the levels do have here, and again, a copy. That's interesting. All the levels here do have a box on top of it. That's interesting. I'm realizing that all my objects are duplicated here, but no, it's just the robot. Anyways. But you can see here, and if I hit play, my box will fall as I was expecting here, and I will be able to freely play. And let me expose this because it's super fun to see the particle effects. And now I can proceed to the game. But as you guys saw, it's super easy to actually edit this stuff because you do have this sort of templates, and the engine seems to have crashed. It's not reloading. Then let me restart this. All right, I'm back, and I'm still fixing the problem because this project, like, I did this in version 0.97. You can literally see here that in the, cannot see. Now you can see here version 0.97, and the thing is, I was developing the engine as I was doing the project, and that led to some problems with the editor, but it's just in this project because of that. But anyways, let's go back to exploring this, how I did everything. And as I said, I do have this entity template, and it's super simple, and I'm very happy with the result because, well, this is something that I really wanted to have in an engine, like an easy way to create your models for the enemy, for the character and everything, because now I can literally right click. Let me create here a live template, new assets, entity template. I can go ahead here. I can give it the name, for example, YouTube, and I can double click it to edit. And you can see there's a blank template. There's nothing here. It's a blank scene. And I can Shift A and add a mesh here. So I do have now this base mesh. And let's make some colors to it. So let me see if I remember where's the assets here. MISC, I do have the basic materials. But I do have the level props, which is, yes, way better here. I can drag and drop stuff, which is cool. I can drag and drop a material. Oh, it's not working, the drag and drop. Interesting, I will take notes of that. But it was supposed to work. The drag and drop was working, but let me go ahead and just manually add this object right here. Some stuff here, as I'll show in this video, is not working because I'm still refactoring a bunch of code for the 0.98 release, and that's why the drag and drop, for example, does not work, because I literally refactored that yesterday and I may have missed something. Let me see if drag and drop the mesh will work. No, it's not working, but it's easy fix. But the thing is, I can change this as I want. Let me make this cube here. I do have this cube right now. Can press Alt R to reset the rotation and scale. Let me, if I hold Control, you can see here that I can rotate my stuff as I want to. And this is literally a simple object. If I hold Alt, just like a real engine, I can create a copy of this object. And now I do have a new template created. And the thing is, if I go ahead and open a level, let's say this level 1 here, and if I drag and drop, oh, drag and drop is not working, cool. But it was supposed to work just fine here if I drag and drop this. Let me actually pause the video and fix this real quick. Just an update, this is how game engine development looks like. It was an easy fix. I'm just waiting for the game engine to recompile because I had to change something very deep in the compilation order. Alright, I'm back, and now it will work. So I do have the YouTube template. I can double click it here. Let me go back to my level that I was editing, and if I drag and drop, Here we go, it works just fine. And just in case if you are curious, the engine do have a difference between like the asset and the one that you see here in the asset browser, because this is an asset file internally in the engine, and an asset file basically stores an asset directly. And I was dropping this, but since I changed this entire system here yesterday, literally, I forgot to drop the asset itself. So it was attempting to create a file inside the editor, inside the scene, and it was like, well, this is not legal, please don't do that. Then I just changed that. Well, it's very simple, but here we go. You can see that I can drag and drop my assets to populate my scene just fine, and it works with everything. For example, this energy totem, let me actually put it here and let me play the game. Let me try live here. I'm playing the game and I do have my new assets, newly created assets, and I can restore my energy just fine. So very simple to level design using this approach. And let me show you, because I did not showcase that to you. Oh, by the way, you can select here. Now there's this cool outline of the object you selected, and I can click here to edit the template. And now, if I drag and drop something, it should work right now, because it was not working, right? Drag and drop this. Here we go. Now it works just fine, as I was showcasing that to you, because I fixed this. Oh, I can even put grass here. Let me go back to maybe this block, and now I have this weird grass. I was not even able to speak that, to say that. So this is a weird thing going on here. And let's try to go back to the level. And you can see that it is already weird again here. So very simple to create the logic, and I'm very happy because of that. And before you ask, how is the logic made using this engine? Well, and it is very simple. I do have Python scripts here, and I can edit the Python script here in the engine itself. So this is the editor. I can make it larger and can see, or I can just use an existing editor. So let me stop editing this script, and you can see that I do have a news file here. It's a little bit sketchy right now. You need to type the name of the file and it will create for you a virtual file. Let me just open the correct project here, and I do have the script folder, and I can open this using Visual Studio Code. So it's opening. Visual Studio, please. Yes, I trust the authors, and you can see that I do have all my scripts here. So you can see it's very simple. It is, of course, Python script. Let me try to find the robot controller. So this is the controller, and I should be able to see some movements here, like me pressing W to move forward. So it's huge stuff. Event. It's not here, I guess. Oh, it was supposed to be here. Anyways, so this is the logic. I did that 2 or 3 weeks ago, so of course I don't remember anymore. But it's literally Python, and it's very simple. You can literally edit this as you go and go back to the engine and see the changes being executed, which is super cool. And I'm very happy with the results. So this is like a simple overview of the engine itself. There's not much here that I can show you, because this game is very simple. It does have a main menu, it does have the levels, and so on. And of course, I do have here the editor, like the UI editing stuff, and it's super cool. Like it changes here according to the resolution. So very simple, and it's all based in components. I do have like UI element component and a UI button component with Python scripting here that I can execute when I click on the button. So it's super simple and super cool, and you can create your games like that. So overall, I'm very happy with the results. Like using this engine to make my very first game using it was like something really breathtaking. I'm very happy because of that, and I'm happy with the results as well. Because if you check here, I'm here with the page, the Loopers Bug page on Ludum Dare website. I actually ranked in 49 in innovation, and well, all the others was okay, but again, my objective with this game was to literally make a game using my own game engine, and I actually was able to succeed with that. And In the end of this video, just a small story for you that waited until here to see. And by the way, let me open the itch.io page because it was cool. In the last hour of the game jam, it was like Monday 9 p.m. The jam would end here in where I am at 10 p.m. So it was 9 p.m. I was finishing everything before exporting the game, and then I exported this game and I realized that the engine has a bug and everything in the exported game was literally black. I was not able to see anything, and it was 1 hour left until the end of the of the jam, and I was like, oh my god, no way. I spent like 72 hours creating this game. I put so much love in it, and now it will not gonna work. Oh, I forgot to showcase to you the particle systems, by the way. I will show that in a minute. But I was like, no way, man. That's no way that this is happening to me. And then I realized that it was a very simple bug, because like, here's the thing, the editor, it draws on top of the game itself, so we need to set custom OpenGL stuff, and it needs to restore the OpenGL state that it was before to keep rendering the game. So this is something that the editor will do, but the exported game would not, because of course the exported game does not have an editor. But the thing is, I forgot to restore something when rendering the UI, and I accidentally, like, if I remember correctly, it was like the I don't remember. It was some OpenGL state that I was enabling to render the game UI. And by the way, I'm talking about this game UI here, the one you are seeing here. But I was forgetting to restore that afterwards. So in the editor, it was working just fine because the editor do restore all the layers. But in the final game, it was not working. And I was like, oh my god, this will not gonna work. But then I realized and fixed this very fast. But it was a hard moment. I almost, in my mind, for a second, I would have to give up on that. But I did not. So I'm very happy with that. Again, this is the game page on itch.io. And last but not least, this is the particle system. It's super cool. Now it supports, let me actually try to find this potato because it was a test that I was doing, and you can see here that the particle is actually changing colors, which is super cool. Let me duplicate the particles. Oh, I duplicated everything. It's not how it's supposed to work. Anyways, you can see that the particle actually changes colors and keeps getting transparent, and this is something new here. If I select my particle, you can see, let me select this one here, you can see in the particle life that I do have a tint option, and check though, I'm on top. Let me disable my face cam. Here we go. You can see here that I do have an option to select like the red, green, and blue, and to add a graph, which is pretty cool. It makes your development life so much easier. Oops, it's crash time. Here we go. But anyways, let me restart this engine. But what I wanted to showcase to you is that we do have particles, and the particle do have this option to change here the tint of the particle, and across all other options as well. So it's super cool to have this option. It crashed, so it's still work in progress, but you can see here that the particle is experimental because I'm doing so many stuff here that's new to the engine, but it will eventually be 100% like ready for release. And again, this engine is super stable now, even though it crashed here, showcasing that to you, because well, I was able to actually create this entire game with no crashes at all, and I'm not even joking. You see in the time lapse, I made a time lapse, and there's no crash. Of course, I stopped the game a lot of time to change stuff in the engine, but it was not like a crash or something like corrupted my files. So I was happy with that. So, well, that's it, folks, for this video. This is a showcase video showing everything that the game engine has to offer, and I hope you guys enjoy that. If you have any questions or comment, please leave in the comments, because I'll be happy to answer to you. And by the way, I'm thinking about making like updating my Patreon to provide early access to this engine, because it takes a lot of time to release it on itch.io, because I need to make sure it's like crash proof and so on. So for the bleeding edge guys, I'm thinking about putting that on my Patreon. So stay tuned for that, and I see you in the next video.